Different from the American one or the?
I don't think so.
The British, the same artwork, same. It changes.
They up in the same way at the back here.
What they do?
That's supposed to be a big flame there.
Yeah.
But they
did heads roll?
So, yeah, so the first 500,000 copies have got that on it.
Did somebody lose their job because of that? Come on.
Not quite.
Yeah, people in Toronto are still talking about your show there in June. Was it special for you? Was it a good night for you?
Try and remember, Colin.
It was the opera.
Yeah. Was it?
It was about a half-hour drive from where we were staying. It was a sort of big old theatre that had the seats taken out. It was all painted orange,
yeah.
which I thought was.
And there was that song, that new song that I was writing.
Right.
I'm not
this
here.
Isn't happening.
Yeah, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
that was the chorus.
Yeah. No, that was good. It was. We were all quite lagged. I bought these trousers actually.
Yeah, so it must have been good then.
So
you bought a pair of trousers.
No, of course we remember the show.
I remember actually.
Yeah.
I do remember. Yeah.
Because it's one of the gigs where there's you play under a proscenium arch, and so it's very difficult to get the vibe of the audience because a lot of the sound is trapped within the stage space. So it was great. It was really good.
How long have you two known each other?
Well, personally,
yeah.
A hideously long time. Sorry, about 12, 13 years old?
And
11.
11 years old.
Tom?
I remember you running out of your classroom and the entire rest of the class chasing you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, God. Yes.
How much has he changed?
How much has he changed? What, Tom?
Is he the same?
That's a difficult question to answer.
You can answer, you say what you like. I won't hold it against you.
Until later.
Until later.
I don't know. I mean, we went through a phase with the group and people's perceptions of the group where I found it personally extremely distressing and upsetting when people would see, particularly Tom, in such a way that was not how I knew him and how we worked together. And that seems to be changing now. And we seem to be perversely returning to where we started when Tom was talking about 4-track stuff, and feeling that what you were doing was all about freedom and possibilities, rather than feeling other people, journalists, sort of had this image of you and and that's how they saw you as I
think it's taken a good 4 or 5 years to shake that off.
Yeah.
And now I think it's shaken off.
Is he more outgoing? Is he more withdrawn? Same. I'm coming to you.
I don't know. I think one of the coolest things is when we signed to EMI, we all made this kind of decision that we thought the most important thing was the music professional thing. It was more important in some ways than qualities of friendship. And then when we sort of hung out and went on tour with REM and people like that, and we were on tour with REM at a very difficult point in their career because, I mean, they're kind of like us in some ways. They're very different individual people, and they'd had a serious number of serious ailments, but they kind of got through it. And
Michael was still really ill, and so was Bill.
Right. They're still recuperating, throughout the touring, and you just realise that sort of certain qualities of friendship were actually more important, because it's kind of like you don't want to let the other people down individually. There's a lot more pressure that way than because of the friendship rather than because of just the business.
I think we lost our marbles for quite a while because of the pressures of this thing that people kept putting on us, and I don't think that's the case anymore. I think discovering that we actually have there was a real kind of quite a big watershed for us was doing this Tibet Freedom Festival. It suddenly felt like that we actually had some sort of, we weren't having to justify, all 5 of us having to justify ourselves all the time to everybody and everything. I mean, I know that sounds sort of over the top, but with the Bends it was sort of, I don't think we quite realised how far we'd got with the Bends and how much of a positive vibe we got from people because we were away doing this.
Yeah.
And then when we came back and when we did the Tibet thing, and all our peers were there, and everyone was sort of getting on, and there weren't any egos, and I think all 5 of us, I mean, I know I did, all 5 of us actually felt some degree of acceptance, which actually is extremely important to us as individuals.
Yeah.
It's also freeing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, okay, so, you know, we don't have to choose our words carefully all the time. We don't have to do this and this and this. We can just be in the 5 group of people making music, and that's it.
Especially coming from England, because there's this whole pressure of like English groups outwardly to have this kind of like aesthetic manifesto a lot of the time, like people like Blur and Pulp, and you know, just to have this kind of, we were told when we were signed, one of these A&R men said to us, you know, you got to have your soapbox to stand on that says like we're really this or that, you know, we believe we wear this certain kind of clothes.
We did actually sit down and tried to write one, didn't we, once?
Did you?
Yeah,
What was it?
We didn't go anywhere.
It was an abject failure, I think. I think the only thing we ever like reiterate in interviews is the fact that we don't live in London, we live in Oxford.
Yes.
It's kind of like an anti-manifesto. It's the fact that we're not on the centre of things. We try and stay in the periphery, you know, just one step removed from the beating heart.
No,
the Coke freaks.
Yes.
One step removed from the Coke freaks.
Yeah. I've read something briefly about somebody working with DJ Shadow. There you are.
Yeah, just did that 2 days ago.
Where?
Did it in San Francisco and did it in George Lucas's place.
Excuse me. Let's just
Skywalk. Oh, sorry.
Skywalker.
Whoever he is.
Skywalker.
Skywalking Ranch.
And what was the project? Was for him?
It was one song, but it went very, very, very well, and it was very exciting.
For his project?
It's for James Lavelle has a sort of outfit called Uncle, which James Lavelle runs this dance label called Mowax.
He's an Oxford boy.
He's an Oxford boy and a good friend of ours.
Right.
So, and we talked about it for ages, and Shadow is sort of a genius, basically, and one of my heroes. So to get to work with him was a big kick.
Because it's such a visual album. Can I hold up the album? Is it okay?
It's up to you, entirely your decision.
The back's quite good as well, actually.
Thank you. Just to discover that you had plans to make videos for all of the songs?
If we do it, I'd want to do it as we're making the next one, so that it's a long, because that way it's kind of something else to occupy your time. But when you're touring, it's very difficult because there's different momentums, you're working at different speeds, and cash is obviously a big problem. Cash, we ain't got any.
No. But soon, maybe?
It's possible.
And
Melvin
if you get
Bragg
lots
wants
of
to.
cash?
Did you hear about that? Melvin Bragg wants to give us cash.
Really?
Yeah.
Is cash good?
Cash is what we need.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't want to be advertising products with the cash. We just want the cash.
Yeah.
So bank robberies.
It's an obscene amount of money as well doing these.
Yeah, it costs us millions.
You know? It's like for the same price of like an expensive video, you could record an entire album.
Right.
We could all get really nice houses in the country.
Is that important?
Not really, because we'd never be in them, but you know.
Would you like to dispel about one myth about this band?
That we don't have any dress sense, and we do.
How long did you think about your wardrobe before you put it on today?
About a week.
Good. But then when the cash comes in...
Rubbish. No, the less you think, the better you look. Always, always. We
Depend on how hungover you are.
Yeah, when we started, like, record company said, "Oh, boys, you need a stylist," and we went. And
we did.
Said no, we won't do it.
We went out and we had 300 quid.
And then they said, "Yeah,
each.
we'll have 300 quid."
£300 each to get styled. And we went out, and Phil's still wearing some of it.
No,
I threw all of mine away immediately.
What did you do?
So bad.
I bought bags and bags and bags of second-hand clothes and got home and looked at them all. We had 3 hours to spend 300 quid.
It's crazy.
What did you buy?
I bought this. Well, I was still confused about
you?
what I wanted to do. I thought, well, if this ends, I should get a suit so I can be looking sharp for the interview, so the job interview. That's what I told everyone. So I bought myself a suit.
That creased when you looked at it.
When you looked at it. It was horrible. I bought it for 300 quid, and then it was like in a Paul Smith sale in London for like 80 quid about 2 months later because it was so horrible.
And the guy in the shop said, "Oh, well, it creases deliberately."
Yeah, of course it creases on purpose.
It's very fashionable. I think maybe cash might not end all of the problems here.
No, I think, yeah, there are some larger problems.
As maybe some
style therapy.
Some mental something.
Yeah.
Style therapy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Thanks, boys.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.